24. Big bass, big for sure. Popping all these pillies, I'ma bet it though. We ready for the night, we gon' take it slow. And it's my empire, I'ma tell them so. Oh, yo. Shawty come around, Shawty feeling up. She ready for the time. This is no surprise, she just know the rise. Got me so alive, yeah. Bands gon' come through. Got these bands in the living room. All this pain that I'm living through. New plans keep me in the groove.
I been chillin' with your bitch, yeah, she a free throw. I been coolin' in this bitch, yeah, she a free hoe. Don't got time for drama, you get kicked up out this hoe. She had so much time with me, she ride my dick, I hit the yo. I been living hella lavish, in my mind I hit the wall. I got talent and I know these niggas ain't gon' feel me though. I been swaggy in this shit, it's okay though. I might pull up with you, bitch, she do I say so. I've been coolin' with the motherfucking monsters. I've been chillin' with some motherfucking monsters. And we really gonna cut you up like rosters. Yeah, we gon' cut them up like rosters. And I got the opera in my chopper, it's gon' pop, yeah. I just put up with the opera, you can't stop, yeah. You can't stop, yeah.
MJ, it can't be.
Counting all these bands, I got 20 feet. Found another fan, that shit so elite. Versus all the mall, shit is super gold. Making mad for her, cut like 24. Big bass, big for sure. Popping all these pillies, I'ma bet it though. We ready for the night, we gon' take it slow. And it's my empire, I'ma tell them so. Oh, yo. Shawty come around, Shawty feeling up. She ready for the time. This is no surprise, she just know the rise. Got me so alive, yeah. Bands gon' come through. Got these bands in the living room. All this pain that I'm living through. New plans keep me in the groove.
I been chillin' with your bitch, yeah, she a free throw. I been coolin' in this bitch, yeah, she a free hoe. Don't got time for drama, you get kicked up out this hoe. She had so much time with me, she ride my dick, I hit the yo. I been living hella lavish, in my mind I hit the wall. I got talent and I know these niggas ain't gon' feel me though. I been swaggy in this shit, it's okay though. I might pull up with you, bitch, she do I say so. I've been coolin' with the motherfucking monsters. I've been chillin' with some motherfucking monsters. And we really gonna cut you up like rosters. Yeah, we gon' cut them up like rosters. And I got the opera in my chopper, it's gon' pop, yeah. I just put up with the opera, you can't stop, yeah. You can't stop, yeah.
MJ, it can't be.
Counting all these bands, I got 20 feet. Found another fan, that shit so elite. Versus all the mall, shit is super gold. Making mad for her, cut like 24. Big bass, big for sure. Popping all these pillies.
Yo, we back. We fucking back in the building, bro. It been a long ass time. Now look, bro. We need to go ahead, make sure everything is solid. Yo, what's going on, Eric? You can hear me? Everything sounds straight. Alright, if you see me looking out to the side, I'm just trying to make sure all my setting is straight. You know, everything good before we start, man. Shit, it's been a good little minute since I streamed, bro. I've been trying to stay productive behind the scenes. There was a few things going on. I was kind of like, you know, fucking up the streams and shit. As you can see, bro, I got the chat up on screen. I got the chat on screen now, bro. It's about fucking time. I've been trying to get that shit done for the longest. I'm not even lying. Like, I done had to, man, that's a long story. But anyway, let's start off the podcast with something interesting, bro. Paul Joseph Watson, man. You know, we always like to start off, you know, these live streams. Would you send pics or videos for Cashapp? Yeah, I don't know what you talking about, bro. I don't know what you talking about. But yeah, we finna start off, you know, on that more political shit. And then we just gonna, you know, move from there. So anyway, I was interested in this video, bro. PJW, it had to happen. Let's see exactly what he talking about in this video. Oh, websites the hell nah, nigga. You know damn OnlyFans, bro. Come on, dog.
People used to do jokey puns about the term transgender by referencing the classic kids franchise Transformers. Transformers! Robots in disguise. Well, now the Transformers are transgender.
My pronouns are they, them.
No one asked.
I'm she, they, but you already know that.
Imagine tiny children watching this trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Bro, that... Man,
Sometimes
we just gonna let it ride, bro. I don't want to be talking too much.
the world can be a scary place. It's hard to know who's dangerous or not. I know I'm safe when I'm with my friends or other non-binary.
The fuck does that mean, bro? Or other... Bro. No, bro. That's not how it works, bro. So you telling me that just because somebody else is non-binary, that you think that they couldn't pose a threat to you? That's not how this shit work, bro. Always keep your head on swivel, and don't ever estimate shit. Don't ever underestimate shit, bro. Like, real talk. What she was saying didn't make sense though, cause it's like, hold on.
Hard to know who's dangerous or not. I know I'm safe when I'm with my friends or...
You know you safe when somebody calls you by the correct pronouns, but then as soon as somebody don't, all of a sudden you unsafe. Cause, you know, that's an assumption on my end, but that's what it's kind of looking like from the way that you framing what you trying to say.
or other non-binary people.
Yes, they may have just endured a horrific civil war between the Autobots and the Decepticons, but misgendering is still a big problem.
My pronouns are they, them. Non-binary.
People who aren't female or male.
What a wonderful
Is this like a
word
new Transformer
for a
cartoon or something?
wonderful experience.
The depression and suicide rates kind of suggest otherwise. Even Optimus Prime slipped into some casual transphobia.
Of course. Morgan, can you switch,
Before being quickly corrected.
Nightshade's pronouns are they, them.
That is sick. That is sick, bro. It is sick what they doing to our entertainment, bro. It makes no fucking sense, bro. No fucking sense.
Just doesn't fit who I am.
My apologies.
Damn right, bigot. They really have to...
Hey, bro, you really fucking up Optimus Prime legacy right now, bro. That nigga, fuck you look like apologizer or some pronouns, bro. Y'all ruin everything, bro.
take everything that was good and wholesome about your childhood and defile it, don't they? We really went from Transformers the movie, where Megatron murdered Ironhide by shooting him in the face with his arm cannon, to Transformers with pronouns. Do we have another Bud Light style boycott in the works? Well, the Transformers franchise is owned by Hasbro, which isn't exactly overperforming financially at the moment, so
Bro, here's the thing, bro, like...
pronouns. Do we have another Bud Light style boycott in the works? Well, the Transformers franchise is owned by Hasbro, which isn't exactly...
Here's the thing, bro, about y'all, like, ultra-conservative folks, bro. I feel like y'all don't be knowing enough about the market, bro. y'all think that little shit like this is actually going to influence what's going on in the market? Like, it's really not, bruh. And as a matter of fact, bruh, the entire market up until very recently has been down, bruh, and has been at all-time lows. Like, you can't just point out Hasbro and be like, it's because of, the wokeness. When it's like, nah, bro. All these goddamn stocks, all these publicly traded companies, they've been having, poor revenue, inflation, all of that, bro. So, nah, let's not do that, bro. Y'all don't know shit about the market, bro. Bro, Hasbro being down 32% has nothing to do with what you're saying, bro. At all.
Exactly overperforming financially at the moment, so they'd likely be vulnerable to such a backlash. But Paul, these are just some relatively obscure television cartoons. Why are you getting mad over that? Ew, right-wing snowflake. Bigots are raging at Transformers cartoon with a non-binary alien robot. It's just about increasing representation. Really? So 10 years ago...
Here's the thing, though. Representation to who? Representation to who exactly? Because when these people make up, less than 5% of the total population, yet there is something called ESG, and there's a need to constantly and continually check all of these like inclusivity and diversity boxes. It's like, okay, so are you really truly representing, the appropriate amount of people who would make up this population? You're trying to give people a voice, but it seems like y'all overcorrecting because less than 5%, yet y'all want to plaster this shit on every new show, cartoon that come out. That's fucking crazy.
In the UK, according to NHS referrals, the number of children who said they were suffering from gender dysphoria stood at just 250. A decade later, and that number stands at 5,000. Is that near 2,000% increase in children reporting gender dysphoria over just the last 10 years? 1,000% later, and that number stands at 5,000 at just 250. A decade later, and that number stands at 5,000. Is that near 2,000% increase in children reporting?
There's not a 2,000% increase. Am I tripping? I'm finna do the math, bro. I'm pulling out a calculator. 5,000 divided by 250. So, 250.
Stood at just 250. A decade later, and that number stands at 5,000. Is that near 2,000%?
Oh, no, it is 2,000. What? That's crazy because that don't seem like 2,000%. Wow, okay.
Increase in children reporting gender dysphoria over just the last 10 years. The natural response to LGBT Zoomers feeling more represented in television cartoons?
Non-binary.
Or is the 2,000% increase actually a product of a sustained social engineering project? Relentlessly promoted by cultural institutions, ceaselessly amplified by celebrities and transnational corporations, institutionalized, recognized and given credence by the law and the state in every single Western country in the world, as the flag of this supposedly marginalized movement literally flies over major government buildings, or because some alien
That's very strange, bro. Here's the thing, bro. You know that there's definitely an agenda behind all this alphabet shit when the government has these alphabet gang flags, like, around their buildings and establishments. I'm assuming the White House too, but there's no evidence that shows that. But it's like, bro, y'all running the country has nothing to do with, like, anything related to gender ideology or just, LGBT, LGTV, all that shit. You feel me? Y'all ability to run a country should have nothing to do with that. So why do y'all feel the need to include all this extra shit, bro? It makes no sense, bro. And as a matter of fact, we know that, like, people have taken a very political stance when it comes to, a lot of things relating to gender identity and things like that. And so that being said, as a government, your interest should be to be apolitical. You feel me? But it seems like y'all taking a very political stance by saying y'all support, which is, very left-leaning at this moment in time.
Robot in a TV cartoon said they them were non-binary.
My pronouns are they them.
Gee, I wonder. Don't go away because there's much more to come. Cold turkey may be great on sandwiches, but there's a better de-stress electronics months now. So switching in few barcode at your order years alone, and it hasn't. That figure has jumped by 5% of Gen Z, now 10% off your order today. Now back to the video. Over 20% of Gen Z now identifies as LGBT. That figure has jumped by 5.
I need the real source of this, bro. If y'all know the source of this, bro, y'all send this shit to me. Because this is actually, if it turns out to be true, very alarming, bro. Very alarming. It seemed like traditionalists, but then again, I guess that wouldn't really make sense. But traditionalists are the ones that are the only ones who have a grip. As time continues to pass on, bro, they're the ones that are waking up and being like, yeah, no. But then again, these people are really old, because this is 1913 to 45. But Gen Z. Ain't no way Gen Z stops at 2002, bro. That makes no sense. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. But, damn, that is a huge jump, bro. So you're telling me a 5% jump between 2020 and 2021? The pandemic had you that down bad, bro? If this is true, that's very interesting and very alarming. So 1 in 5 people from Gen Z are LGBT. And those numbers are pretty alarming, bro, because it's like the generation that's coming up now, if we're 20%, like, what is they shit gonna look like, bro? Half? Because if it gets to the point to where it's half, we can't sit here and try to act like this is just, a natural thing, bro. This is a social contagion. I mean, it already is for sure. But I'm saying, like, we can't just sit here and deny it at that point. When the numbers get closer to 40 and 50%, we know that this isn't a natural occurrence. Half of the population is not just like, sexually deviant, and doing all this. You feel me? I don't even, man.
5% in just the last 3 years alone, and it hasn't spiked like anything near that amongst older generations. A new poll in the UK finds that a majority, 54% of teenagers aged 16 to...
Let me go ahead and check and see if this shit right. Okay, bet. I'm just trying to make sure the audio's straight.
To 18 know someone at school who wants to change their gender. A figure that would have been in the single digits 10 years ago. Is that down to enhanced representation or enhanced indoctrination? Given that the transgender lobby have tried and...
Bro, it is absolutely a social contagion, bro. There's no way that is not.
Succeeded in many cases in blocking teachers and schools from sharing sex education material of this nature with parents before their kids are exposed to it. Gee, I wonder why large numbers of teenagers are being taught in school that women can have penises, that men can get pregnant, and that sex is assigned at...
Sources, Civitas. Here's the thing, bro. Like, I definitely fuck with PJW, but, no matter if you're on the right or the left, like, everybody is trying to push their own ideas and their own agendas on what they believe the truth is. Or maybe they don't care about truth and they just want to spread propaganda. Here's the thing, bro. As much as I fuck with PJW and agree with his points, I would like for him to, I would like for him to share his sources more, bro. I don't really see him doing that often, bro. I know Sydney Watson, she shares her sources a lot. But yeah, he doesn't really share sources, but he loves to put all this random shit on the screen. Like Savitas, like I've never heard of that before. But, you know, we're gonna go through it anyway. Sex assigned at birth. Wait, what if 16, 18 years old? Sex is assigned at birth. Pregnant. Britain is Britain is currently a racist country. Young men are currently a problem for. Like, what does this shit even mean, and why are they being taught this in school, bro? They should be like, this is so irrelevant, bro. When that school became like, it's supposed to be to get your education, not all just fucking fluff and filler shit, bro.
At birth,
fucking filling their brains up with all this indoctrination and shit. The Savitas poll found that 2/5 of pupils had been taught about sex positivity at school, while nearly a quarter reported having been taught about bondage, discipline. What? A quarter taught? What? Bro, this is actually crazy to me, bro. It really is, because when I was in school, which is really not a long time ago, we wasn't on any of this shit, bro. We really wasn't. But then again, like, I don't know, maybe post-COVID got, like, conversation like this going through the damn roof or something. But we wasn't really on this shit in high school.
Oh, and BDSM too, lovely stuff. Is that merely an organic development encouraged by wider representation in society? Or is it because transgender activist groups are influencing the content of sex education lessons? Gee, I wonder. So now it's not just obscure television cartoons. This stuff is deeply embedded within our school curriculums. And not just at the national level, this is an international project. The Telegraph reports on how the World Health Organization is encouraging schools and educational institutions across the West to tell toddlers and infants to explore gender identity.
This is incredibly sickening, bro. Toddlers, they barely know how to tie their fucking shoes, bro. They barely know how to write their own names. They don't even understand what cursive is, nor do they know how to write in it. They can't do the times tables. You think that these children could comprehend something as complex? They don't even know what they... Bro, they know what they are on a surface level, but they don't even know what they are, bro. They know I'm a boy, I'm a girl. But they don't know what actually, like, comes with being a boy or a girl. And they don't know what intrinsic characteristics creates, you know, a masculine male and a feminine woman, or the blend of masculinity and femininity in both. They don't understand none of that. You have to at least know that first before you can sit here and ask about gender identities and sexual. Bro, this is way too complex, bro. Children should not be knowing this. And this is literally grooming children. And folks been saying that for the longest, bro. Like, it makes no sense.
Identities and engaged in sexualized behavior from the ages of 0 to 4. Holy shit. The guidance says that sexuality education starts from birth and is described as a framework for policymakers, educational and health authorities and specialists. The WHO guidance also says that children aged 4 and under should be taught about enjoyment and pleasure when touching one's own body.
There's no way this is real, bro.
Early childhood masturbation. And they tie that in with infants having the right to ask questions about sexuality and the right to explore gender identities. Oh, don't use the word groomer, though.
See, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Ryan Dawson said this. Ryan Dawson has shown this. But it's also something that's pretty obvious when you just, like, take a step back and look at the elites. A lot of people in charge, bro. A lot of them are pedophiles, bro. A lot of them are pedophiles. And these are the people with the money, influence, and power to actually make change. These are the people who control the world. And so if these people are pedophiles, it's not too far-fetched that they would want to push pedophilia into our society and into our culture to try to normalize this, and in that way they, because they're so evil and twisted in their minds, can create a way to delude themselves into believing that their actions are immoral, and that, oh, you know, it's being a free spirit, this and that, bro. And bro, this all comes down to people being godless now. We live in a godless society, but also a very selfish society where everyone is selfish nowadays. These acts of, you know, basically grooming children is done out of selfishness, because you think that you know what's best for these children by trying to instill all of this identity politics into their brain, bro, instead of just letting them be them, bro. That's the least selfish thing you can do, is to let them be them. They just need to chill, bro, because there's so much going on, bro.
The document states, from birth, babies learn the value and pleasure of bodily contact, warmth and intimacy. They're literally trying to sexualize a newborn baby's natural bonding experience with its own mother. The sick freaks. The woke Welsh government incorporated some of this guidance as part of its mandatory sex education syllabus. Yeah, this goes far deeper down the rabbit hole than just TV cartoons, doesn't it?
Non-binary.
WHO spokesman told The Telegraph the organisation stands by its guidance and it remains accessible. They're fucking proud of it. Is it time for the World Health Organization to rename itself the World Nonce Organization? Because I'm sorry, but anyone who talks about how children, babies, should be sexualized from the age of 0 onwards needs to have more than just their hard drive checked. This after the UN published a report encouraging sex between adults and minors to be decriminalized. But I guess it's just about representation, right? Hard drive checked. This after the UN
Normalize sex with minors. Bro, first of all, this shit should never be normalized, bro. These people should be stoned to death. That's one. Two, even if there was like a good part of your brain that's like, you know, wait, decriminalizing is a form of you normalizing it, but not to the degree of normalizing it just outright. So we can't try to back normalize whatsoever, but like, let's say they just want to decriminalize it, which I don't agree with, but let's say that they did. A lot of these people who are having sex with minors, they don't consent, bro. These children are not consenting to these activities, bro. And so it's basically rape, which means that it's very illegal and very immoral. And like, why would you want to normalize something that's very likely not consensual, bro?
UN published a report encouraging sex between adults and minors to be decriminalized. But I guess it's just about representation, right? Meanwhile, this past weekend saw the latest Eurovision Song Contest. Okay, seems fine. Let's see Germany's entry. Because you can't represent Germany by flying the German flag. Gotta be the occupation flag instead. It's just about representation.
Sick, bro. That don't make no damn sense, bruh. I'm floored, bro. It makes no sense. Shit. Man, we chilling in this bitch. Bro. Yo. Join the Discord, bro. Join up on the Discord. There's some new shit I got going on, bro. You know. If y'all want to interact on stream, send some videos in, bro. Be a part of what's going on. Send some videos in the Discord for me to react to, bro. Send memes, music, stream ideas, server ideas. We got our own channel for new members specifically, bro. We just trying to turn up and do different shit. And as a matter of fact, there's also something else that I wanted to bring up right quick. Bro, y'all folks, go ahead and check out my Rumble, bro. I got a Rumble page, bro. I have no influence whatsoever, bro. I'm a nobody. But that's besides the point, bro. That's besides the point. Bro, I be wanting to go live on Rumble, bro. I be wanting to go live, but I can't. I need more than 5 subscribers. So, like, if y'all fuck with what I'm doing, bro, download Rumble. Go over to Rumble, bro. KaiisEgo. Bro, the link be in all my descriptions for all my live streams, bro. I would really appreciate it if y'all follow me on Rumble and got me up to 5, bro. Or more than 5. I don't know exactly how much I need. But, yeah, KaiisEgo or EgoEveryday. Bro, if I can get up to 5 followers, bro, I can finally go live, bro. That shit would be dope. That shit would be dope because I'm really thinking about just, I won't say strictly like live streaming on Rumble, but probably going on there a lot. And so that being said, bro, I need y'all support and all that good shit. But without further ado, let's go ahead, man. Let's go ahead, bro. You finna check out the new shit. Awaken with JP. Don't be alarmed. It's part of their plan. Now, the thumbnail for this video, it was about Twitter, bro. So recently, Twitter got a new CEO. It's a woman, unfortunately. And it's not only a woman, you know, just a silly woman, but part of the World Economic Forum. So I don't know, like, that don't really sound too good to me. So let's see what he got to say and his perspective on that shit.
And that's why the moon you see in the sky at night doesn't exist. Dude, I'm totally on board with that. I thought you would be. What are your thoughts on Elon hiring his new Twitter CEO from?
World Economic Forum is increasingly becoming an unelected world government that the people never asked for and don't want. That's a fact.
The World Economic Forum. Well, on January 23rd, Elon tweeted, "World Economic Forum is increasingly becoming an unelected world government that the people never asked for and don't want." And then 4 months later, Elon hires Linda Yaccarino from the World Economic Forum to run Twitter. So I think it's a good move. Why do you think that? Well, the move suggests that Elon wants Twitter to be more of an unelected world government that the people didn't ask for and don't want. And I think the new CEO can help Twitter get there. Good point. I mean, people are being totally unfair. They think everyone associated with World Economic Forum is evil. And that's not necessarily true. Like, some World Economic Forum people might be good. And that's not necessarily true. Oh, speaking of things that aren't true, CNN. Did you see their town hall with Trump? Yeah, I was surprised that CNN set that up to purposely make Trump look so good. I don't think they did that on purpose.
Nah, bro, that was a shit show for CNN, bro. They was not expecting shit to go that way. But, you know, it made Trump look good, bro. Trump took the W he held frame. You know, did a little bit of banner. And she just over here pressed.
Really? Yeah, given that CNN has a large nightly viewership of 47 people, and those 47 people stand for nothing, so they'll fall for anything, I think CNN had the agenda of trying to make Trump look bad to them. Really? They made him look so good. Yeah. Well, then I guess they failed big time, which is kind of surprising, because I usually think of CNN as the hallmark of success, but this was a big failure. It's kind of like, what's that company that launched CNN Plus? CNN. So it's like that level of failure, which is surprising coming from CNN. I enjoyed watching the host incessantly interrupting Trump in an effort to try to throw him off. She couldn't have been more abrasive, which again is surprising coming from CNN. It's kind of like she was as bad and off-putting as that Brian Stelter guy. Who'd he used to work for? CNN. Right. Well, it's just kind of surprising that CNN would have someone on who's just as terrible as all of CNN's other hosts. What'd you think about when, after she tried interrupting Trump for the 100th time, he looked at her and called her a nasty person? I didn't think that was right. Me either. To be less misleading with his words, I think he should have called her a fuck. Are you aware that there's currently still no problem at the border that just got much worse? It's not happening, obviously, and it's also not happening by accident.
Bro, I feel real bad for that, bro. I feel real bad for that border shit, because it is getting out of control, bro. This is sick, but it's all according to plan, bro. They said it, bro. 2030, we need to open our borders and we need to be a less secure country. Makes no sense, but you know, it's supposed to not make sense.
Accident. Over the weekend, Biden ends Title 42, which opens an already wide open border even more. With as big as this is, how do you
Let me see what that is, bro. See what that is, bro. Title 42. I'm sure this probably gonna be like some bullshit article that doesn't really accurately depict what they're saying, but you know. Title 42 is ending. Refers to an emergency law passed in 1944. Allows federal health authorities to prohibit migrants from entering the country to prevent the spread of contagious diseases. Bruh, ain't that kind of funny? Ain't that kind of funny how they was just obsessing over COVID, but now they want to repeal Title 42 when they was just talking about, you know, they want to prevent the spread of diseases, COVID-19, lockdown. This just goes to show that they don't really care, bruh. If you haven't already realized all that they really care about, bruh. All they care about is the agendas that they're trying to push, bruh. This is a literal contradiction, bruh. It makes no sense. The U.S. Center of Disease Control invoked Title 42 at the beginning. This allowed Border Patrol agents to expand without approval or oversight. Migrants turn away from the U.S. under Title 9 has... Hey, look. If you want to repeal Title 42, that also means that y'all need to give up on them damn vaccines. Because we want to have some sort of logical consistency, right? The vaccines were used to help prevent the spread, right? Title 42 was to help prevent the spread, right? So if you're going to end this shit, I hope y'all are ending the vaccines, bro. We just need to have some consistency here. Why was it okay to have open borders for European? Why was it okay to have open borders for European white immigrants? That's an interesting question. Why was it okay to have open borders for European white Americans? Okay, I get what you're trying to say. I think that that's something that you need to touch on a bit more, because I don't ever recall it being necessarily okay for white immigrants to just come over and cross the borders, or however the hell that they cross into the U.S. But I think that the issue with the issue with the border crisis over there in Mexico, though, is that it's completely unregulated. We've always been a country that's been pro-immigration, but there needs to be standards, there needs to be boundaries, there needs to be checks and balances. And when you don't have that, bro, it creates a I can't remember the word for it, but it becomes a domestically hostile environment, and it decreases our security, bro. It basically decreases our security, and it causes problems from within. And now we're not able to properly vet out, the people who are entering our country because one, they're already here, and two, people have no interest in actually going to check. Why are we concerned about Mexicans and not Canadians? Well, here's the thing. We have to look at like the frequency of immigration from both sides. Now, how many people are coming from Canada down to the U.S. versus coming from Mexico to the U.S.? And then also we have to look at like, are these people being checked? Are these people being vetted? I'm pretty sure that, the Canadian government is going through more proper measures to vet these people, the American and Canadian government, before actually allowing them to go into either country. I mean, there's a reason why, Canadians have visas. And from the things that I've seen and heard, they're very strict when it comes to their visas. Like, they will literally send you back to Canada. But when it comes to people in Mexico coming over to the US, yes, there's visas, yes, there's certain standards and expectations, but a lot of times it's once you're here, you're here. You just gotta make it over here. But, I think that Canada and the US have a better system in place to actually ensure that things are, transitioning smoothly when it comes to the amount of people who are, migrating into the U.S. and vice versa. There's little to any checks and balances in Mexico. People are just slap walking through, bro. And then also, here's the thing. You have concerned Americans that are, talking about this quote unquote border crisis. And instead of, you being a leader, the president of the United States, vice president, and be like, okay, I understand your valid concerns, or, I understand your concerns. Let me go ahead and check it out. They gaslight, they say it's not a crisis, and they completely ignore the situation. Now, don't you think that that's kind of weird? I think that that's very weird, honestly. But Title 42, April 2022, where it is summarily expelled 52% of migrants at the border. You sure that? Tell me why it would have to do with skin color. I know I was just ranting for a little minute, but did you not hear anything I just said? And that's not a shot at you, but I would want you to tell me what exactly about it has to do with skin color.
How do you think Biden handled the situation that he deliberately caused? Well, as dangerous criminals were invited to illegally enter our country and given cell phones as a welcoming gift for not being allowed to be here, Biden took a strategic vacation to his beach house. Gotta love that crime family money. Did you know that Biden has a very secure wall all around his beach house that keeps people out who aren't supposed to be there? That's just an intelligent thing to do. And did you know that conservatives want a very secure wall at the border that keeps people out who aren't supposed to be here? That is wrong. I hate that the same thing is both right and wrong at the same time. It can be very confusing. Kind of like how sometimes 2 + 2 = 5 and other times 2 + 2 = 3. But before arriving at his beach house to strategically ignore the disasters that he caused, Biden stopped at Howard University, a predominantly black college, to deliver a commencement speech. I'm sure it was very...
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I kind of wish I would have applied to Howard. But, I would not want that old nigga on my college campus, bro. Get the fuck out of here. It's funny because Biden's a true racist, bro. He's a true racist. I don't want you around him.
Very inspiring. What message did his teleprompter have to say? Well, according to Biden, the teleprompter speech.
Teleprompter is crazy, bro. He's so brain dead that he really has to use a teleprompter.
I'm sure it was very inspiring. What message did his teleprompter have to say? Well, according to Biden, the teleprompter said that white supremacy is the biggest threat to the U.S. Well, the people at Howard University...
How, bro? Here's the thing. This is like... Bro... Respectfully, bro, people are so low IQ. Like, okay, you're making this claim. You know, white supremacy is the biggest domestic threat to the U.S. Okay, well, how? You said you ignore. No, I didn't, bro. I asked you to tell me and to properly explain if it has anything to do with skin color in your mind. Because you're asking me, you sure it doesn't have anything to do with skin color? Okay, well, why would it? Why would it have to do with skin color? That's what I previously mentioned.
Supremacy is the biggest threat to the U.S. Well, the people at Howard University must be very inclusive. Why? Is that because they invited a white supremacist? Supremacy is the biggest threat to the U.S.
You know, it's real interesting, bro, because people don't check this shit enough, bro. And it's a very low IQ thing to me. Like, okay, so it makes a bold ass claim: white supremacy is the biggest threat to the U.S. Okay, why? And how? How is it a threat? And why is it a threat? And could it be possible that there's maybe some other potential threats that, you know, you aren't really exemplifying in your claim because you're trying to, like, frame a certain argument? You feel me? So it's like, a lot of times people just say things and it's just all fluff with little to any meaning, bro. Like, no, bro. You're saying it's the biggest threat? Okay, how? Actually back up what you're saying.
Yes. Well, the people at Howard University must be very inclusive. Why? Is that because they invited a white supremacist to address their black student population? Yeah, most groups wouldn't be that inclusive. Huh.
It's so it's like, bro, it's literally a slap in your face, bro. These people don't care about you. It's a slap in your face. Bro, like, here's the thing. I bet if Andrew Tate showed up, niggas would be they'd be boycotting and everything, bro. But let Joe Biden walk in that motherfucker, niggas celebrating just because he the president. If you haven't realized by now, all the presidents that we've gotten, bro, and I don't know how far this dates back, but in recent history, bro, all the presidents that we've been having, they're all corrupt, bro. The ones that we have and the ones that attempt to run, bro. There's nothing moral and just about them. And that's the reason why they're being president in the first place. Because you do not become the president by accident, bro. Certain people have to let you through the door and to prop you up. You feel me? So, it's just like a game, bro. If you ain't putting in no work, then you can't get access to certain opportunities. And so a lot of these politicians look at it like that, like, hey, you ain't really been putting in no work. You feel me? So no, you can't run. Or no, if you do run, you're not going to get elected. We need you to go ahead and do this dirt right quick.
Huh. Do you think the good people at Howard University knew that at the funeral of KKK member and white supremacist Robert Byrd, that while Biden was delivering the eulogy, he called him a friend and mentor? I doubt they knew that, but
they don't pay attention to shit.
But that honestly sounds pretty far-fetched. I doubt that ever happened. You're probably right, but here's a video of it.
For a lot of us, he was a friend, and he was a mentor, and he was a guide.
Yeah, I too doubt what I just saw with my own eyes. So I imagine the students loved Biden's address. Well, one of the black students protested during Biden's speech by standing up and holding up a sign that said, "Biden and Harris don't care about black people." Well, one of the black students protested during Biden's speech by standing up and holding up a sign that said, "Biden and Harris don't care about."
Good, bro. But it's just sad that there's only out of a couple hundred or a couple thousand, bro. It's sad how you only get like 5 or 10 that would just like see the blatant bullshit and then be bold enough to call it out.
About black people. Whoa. How'd Biden take that? Well, for obvious reasons, I don't think he respected the student's point of view. Did you ever watch Transformers as a kid?
Uh-oh, we were just looking at this.
Yeah, but I didn't turn trans, so the indoctrination didn't work on me. Well, they still make that show, and they're getting a lot of pushback because they just introduced a non-binary Transformer. Well, they are Transformers. Yeah, they're not biological origin formers, they're Transformers. I don't know what people expect. A lot of people are upset because Washington State now has a law that protects kids from parents who are trying to protect the kids from genital mutilation. Who protects the kids from the government that's trying to protect them? Nobody. Okay, so everything should be fine. We're just doing Stockholm Syndrome. Get this. I read that in Africa, there's still countries that allow parents to cut the clitorises off their kids. Those heathen parents, we've got to stop genital mutilation. I also read that in America, there's parents who are trying to stop doctors from cutting the genitals off their kids. Those heathen parents, we need more gender-affirming care. No doubt. But there's something I don't understand. Physicians take the Hippocratic Oath to do no harm. But a lot of people with objective perspectives view genital mutilation as harmful because of the harm it creates. And yet, it's being promoted as a good thing for doctors to do. Oh, yeah. It's easy to understand. Let me clarify for you. Doctors are not allowed to mutilate anybody in any way, shape, or form because their Hippocratic Oath to do no harm prevents them from doing so. But when you get a form of mutilation labeled as something different, like gender-affirming care, then when the doctor does the exact same act of mutilation, it's no longer considered mutilation, it's considered care. And then the doctor can legally do it without getting his license revoked because care is good and mutilation is bad. It makes sense when the exact same thing is different because it's called different words. Yeah, it totally covers all the bases. It's like stealing is illegal, but if we could just get that same act more progressively labeled as something different, like a new possession procedure, then the act of stealing is no longer wrong. It's actually a good thing. Isn't just using different words to label something the opposite of what it really is a form of mind control? Well, Have you ever read 1984? Yeah. Well, I haven't, so I don't know how to answer your question. Do you like communism? Mind control? Well, if stealing is no longer wrong, it's actually a good thing.
Bro, if you want to learn anything valuable, put it in books, bro, because nobody's going to read it.
Isn't just using different words to label something the opposite of what it really is a form of mind control? Well, have you ever read 1984? Yeah. Well, I haven't, so I don't know how to answer your question. Do you like communism? I'm a big fan of believing that doing something over and over again will give you a different result. So yeah, I think communism could totally work out very well. Why do you ask? Because one of AOC's former aides is now the head of New York State's Communist Party.
Former aide to AOC, now in the Communist Party of New York. The Communist Party of New York, are they like, I don't know if I'm using this word right, are they being facetious when they say that, or is it really a Communist Party? Does that really exist in New York?
Yikes.
Like, is that like an actual official title or label or party?
I mean, AOC's not a communist. I mean, obviously, I'm smart enough to know that she's a Democrat, and the words Democrat and communist being used to describe the exact same thing are different words. It's been a joy talking to you as always, my friend. I feel the same. But unfortunately, I gotta continue sitting here while hoping you eventually walk away. Dude, I'll be here a while. Fantastic. So, why don't you tell me more about how Michael Obama's genitals correlates with the moon landing being fake? Well, see, what you first gotta understand is the correlation between frogs now having homosexual tendencies and the Van Allen radiation belt.
Yeah, man.
Well, my friend, it's...
Man. W video by Waking with JP. I fuck with him, bro. Very satirical, very comedic. Man, this is a short stream, but I just wanted to, like, you know, tap in a little bit, bro. I'm trying to be consistent, bro. Trying to be consistent. So, you know, I was like, fuck it. Let me just show up, even if not for long. You know, I appreciate everybody that tuned into the stream only for a little bit. And we will be live tomorrow, bro. Promise you that, bro. Consistency, that's what's important. But anyway, man, I love y'all niggas. And, you know, that's going to be the end of that.